Now here's news you can use. This is what we hear, this is the buzz in the Devil's Ear.
What's up, Red Devils? I'm Dakota, and here are announcements for today. Today we wanted to take some time and introduce to you the new Rdtv crew.
I'm Garrett.
I'm Asia Banks.
I'm Nia Ramsey.
I'm John.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Ramirez.
I'm Jordan Valdez.
I'm Addie. I'm Siani.
Hey, I'm Nick.
I'm Jamari.
I'm Paisley.
I'm Miranda.
I'm Aldry.
Now we have a special announcement from our principal, Mr. Tommy Vickers.
Good morning, Central High School, and welcome to another great school year here at Red Devil Nation. There's a couple items we want to go through this morning. My name is Mr. Vickers. I'm the principal. For those of you that are new to Central, we want you to have a great school year. We're going to take a few minutes today to do your student orientation rather than calling you out into the auditorium or the cafeteria. Let you get this through Rdtv. You may have questions that you can ask of your teachers. I'll be doing a little bit of orientation today. Tomorrow you'll have orientations from the other assistant principals each day this week. And each one should take 10 to 15 minutes, so not take too much time, but just want to make sure you're familiar with some of the things here at Central, the do's and don'ts. I don't like to go through a lot of rules, but by the same token, I don't want you to get in trouble for something that you may not have known that that's something you shouldn't do. Let's start off with schedule changes. Most of you have your schedule, or all of you have your schedules by now. We want to make sure that if you have anything on your schedule that needs adjusting, and really it's about if I'm in Spanish 2 and I've never had Spanish 1. It's not about whether you want this teacher or that teacher. We really can't accommodate that. So if you have schedule issues, you need to see your counselor on stage. Friday will be the deadline for changing schedules. If you requested something and did a parent override for an advanced honors class or something like that, then those schedule changes won't be made. But this Friday will be the deadline for schedule changes. That's all on page 11 in your student handbook. Your student handbook this year, we're not handing those out. They're online. You can go to the school website and view the student handbook, and that will give you the information that I'm covering right now. I'm not reading it all to you. If there's specific questions about any of it, you can go to those pages. I'll reference you to page 12 this year. For graduation requirements, really not much change other than the endorsements. I need to make sure that those that are trying for an academic honors endorsement, we have tweaked that somewhat. And of course, we have the technical endorsement, fine art endorsement, and foreign language endorsement. So we're looking at adding a STEM endorsement. We'll have more to follow on that, but those are for those students that are focusing on your higher level math, sciences, and computer sciences. As it goes down into page 13 and 14, it starts talking about dual enrollment in AP. We'll have a dual enrollment in AP meeting with your parents the night of open house. So your AP and dual enrollment teachers will let you know more about that as that comes. And on page 14, 15 is the courses that we weight. We've added additional honors courses for the things that we felt like are the college preparatory courses, and we wanted to weight those courses accordingly for those students who are, taking the harder courses. Page 16 deals with your fees, which those have pretty much been handled at this point. 17 talks about top 10% class officers. We'll start voting on class officers in the next couple weeks. And then it talks about requirements for the valedictorian and salutatorian. And then it talks about deadlines for diploma applications. So page 17 is an important page for seniors. Page 18 gets into voting for prom king and queen and the superlatives and the requirements for that. So take a look at that if you're interested in those. Credit recovery and grade recovery. We'll start sign up for those in the next day or so on stage. Be listening for those announcements on Rdtv. Ms. Johnson will be registering students. The counselors are on stage during lunch every day for any questions about your schedule or again, credit recovery, grade recovery signups. If you're behind in credits, especially seniors, I encourage you to get those taken care of now. Seniors, let me just talk just for a second about some things that I do. I really want seniors all seniors to graduate, and so I put some things in place to make sure you stay on track to graduate. They're not meant to be punitive. It's really meant to try to motivate you to go ahead and make up your credits now, but I found that this works. I have to do this, but in order to attend prom, if you're a senior, you have to be on track to graduate. So if you're behind in credits, come prom time, then you will not be allowed to attend prom. So I need you to get your credits made up now. That goes for the senior picnic and any other activities that the seniors do this year. If you're not making up credits that you need to make up, then I need you to be doing that now. I found it works. Our graduation rate since I started doing this was in the around 77%, and it's jumped up to we're almost 90% now. So that's the goal, is for me to get you graduated. If this is what it takes, then that's what we'll do. But I shouldn't have to come to that. You do what you got to do to get your credits to get graduated. Moving on to a couple other topics. It talks about community service hours on page 21. Make sure you're keeping up with your community service hours. Those are required to graduate. And if you have more questions on those, to your counselor on stage. Page 24 talks about your academic scholars, honor roll, principals list, and the requirements to make those. We do have a very nice banquet now for 10th and 11th graders. We really do a good job of recognizing not only our seniors for academic success, but also our 10th and 11th graders. So we want to recognize you for doing well in the classroom, and we're doing a much better job of that now. Page 26, attendance. One of the other assistant principals is going to talk more about the requirements if you're absent, what you do to make up work, and your time frame for getting that in. But I do want you to know about the tardy policy that we implemented last year in the second semester, and it was really effective, and we'll start that later this week. So we feel like everybody should know where your classes are by the end of the week. So we'll start implementing the tardy policy. It's very simple for the students and the teachers. Once the tardy bell rings, the teachers close their door, and they do not let you in for any reason. Do not try to get in for any reason. They have been told, do not open their door. You are to go to the office, see Miss Beverly at attendance, and she will get you a tardy admit slip. The administration will keep up with your tardies now. Last year there was some confusion. If I check in first period, that's just a check-in. No, that is not correct. That is a tardy. It is an unexcused tardy unless you have a doctor's note or a dentist note or something from some type of appointment that you had. A parent note does not count as an excused check-in as far as tardy concerned. That's why we give you 3 of them free. So on your 4th tardy, then there is punishment for that. The first tardy punishment is administrative detention. Okay, so if you're checking in, that's a tardy. Now the question comes, well, all right, well, I checked in second period. Well, if you check in second period, then you were absent first, and then you got a tardy to second. So a tardy is, I'm trying to get you to school on time is what the goal is, to teach you a life lesson about if you don't get to work on time, you get fired. If you don't get to school on time, then there are consequences. So we don't start school till 9 o'clock. Most of the rest of the world start school at 8. Most jobs start at 8. So there's no reason why we can't be here by 9. The reason we don't start school till 9 is because we felt like that research shows that teenagers do better by getting to sleep in a little bit, but also I have all the teachers here at 8 o'clock in the morning. So if you need help with getting ready for a test, making up work, whatever, the teachers are here at 8. You just have to get an admit slip, a slip from them the day before to get down the hallways, so you're not stopped and asked, for a pass. But come take advantage of the tutoring in the mornings if you need it, but be on time. One of the things we ran into last year at the end of the year, and I was compassionate and made a slight change on exemptions for final exams. On your second tardy referral, that means you've gotten 6 tardies to some class, you get 1 day of in-school suspension. Well, if you all remember, the exemption policy is if you have an A, you get exempt unless you have been suspended or to ISS. Well, if you get that second tardy to any class, then you're not exempt from any final because you went to ISS all day. So I'm not going to waver on that this year like I did at the end of last year because we were implementing a new rule last year. So I let it slide last year and I said, okay, if it was dealing with tardies, it doesn't count. But now we're starting off the new year on the right foot. So if you go to ISS because of tardies or any other reason, then you're not exempt from finals. So do not get tardies to class. That's the biggest thing we have here at Central. If that's our worst problem, I can deal with it. But let's make sure that we get to class on time and get to school on time. Couple other items, just side notes that I need to talk about that may not follow in line with in the handbook, but there's 3 things that I want to talk about that are very important. Number 1 is and one of the assistant principals will talk about electronic devices, but let me just talk briefly about earbuds. Those are very distracting to the school day and annoying to teachers and administrators in the hallways. So we don't mind you having earbuds here at school, before school, after school, but in hallways, in between classes and at lunch, earbuds are not allowed. I'm telling you this now so that we don't have to deal with this later. That's a simple thing. And for you to put earbuds in after you've been told not to is disrespectful to the administration. So at one point in time where we'll just take them from you and a parent will have to come pick them up. So let's don't get to that point. So after watching this video, you now have been told earbuds are not allowed in the hallways between classes. Once we start school, earbuds are done. Now, some of your teachers may let you have them in class because some type of assignment, or you may be plugged in, listen to audio, some type of video. That's fine. That's the teacher's classroom. But in the hallways and at lunch, no earbuds, please. That is very, very important and something we need to fix. Second thing, and this one is very critical today, with all of our cell phones having the capability to video, sometimes it seems like we want to video when something inappropriate is happening at school, i.e. a fight or something of that nature. That will be considered a class 3 offense and you will get the same punishment as the person who fought. So if you film something and you're caught filming it by an administrator, or seen on camera filming somebody doing something inappropriate, that is unacceptable behavior, and the punishment will be the same as if it was any other class 3 offense. So if your inclination when you see something happening to pull out your phone and start filming, know the consequences will be dire. Do not do it. And if somebody sends you something that's inappropriate, fight, sexual, whatever, you need to delete it. If you are found with any type of sexual content on your phone here at Central, that is, you're in possession of pornography, and that is a class 3 offense, and you will go to the alternative school. So I know that a lot of times nowadays people send things that they think are funny through Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. But if you got it on your phone, you need to get rid of it immediately, and absolutely do not forward it. And you may say, well, I got it at home last night. Well, if it's your phone at school, then you're wrong. So please, I've seen good kids suffer dire consequences because they had something that somebody sent them they thought was funny, and the consequences are severe. And that's from the Phoenix City Board of Education that they want us to enforce this rule. So delete things that are inappropriate. Do not film things that are inappropriate. Last thing, the school board this past summer passed a policy that said if you're an accessory to an infraction, so let's say somebody takes a cell phone and they pass it off to you and tell you to hold it. Well, if you are now considered an accessory, and that's something new, that if somebody's trying to give you something that you think is not something you should be holding, whether it's drugs, cell phone, whatever, you need to tell them no thank you. That is an accessory. You let them deal with their own stuff. If you're a lookout for somebody doing something wrong, that's an accessory. That's new. So I wanted you to make you aware of it. All right. I was trying to stay underneath 15 minutes, so I'm getting close. Hopefully this wasn't too painful. I'm going to meet with the seniors here in the next day or so to talk about senior specific stuff, but this should keep you all from having to be pulled out of class and doing an orientation. So we wanted to try this today to try to make this as painless as possible going through these policies and procedures. We really don't want to have to deal with any of these. We really want you all just to have here and come a great school year, get your education, but don't want you to say you didn't know. So that's why we do this, to inform you. I'm looking forward to a great school year. I think this is a great group of students we have, and great faculty and staff. So let's have a great school year, and let's go Red Devils. Thanks.
The Chamber Choir and Concert Choir are in dire need of more guys to create balanced choirs. If you're an interested guy and can make your schedule work, please consider joining either 6th or 7th period choir. Even if you don't think you can sing, Mr. McNeil can teach you. It's a great way to meet new people and a fun way to learn about creative art form. The counselors can only change schedules through Friday, August 11th, so act fast. Talk to Mr. McNeil ASAP. Mr. McNeil will be holding a cappella group auditions for the 2017-2018 school year, August 15th through the 17th. If interested, you are required to sign up for a solo audition spot on either August 15th or 16th after school. And all should be prepared to attend a callback after school on the 17th. All you have to do for the audition is sing 30 seconds of a song that shows off what you can do, winning the best powerhouse voices. The group also needs a beatboxer. So if you know of anyone that has the ability, please send them to Mr. McNeil. The sign-up sheet is posted on the door of room 413. These have been your Red Devil TV announcements. Have a great Red Devil Day.